The world today, a mirror of the days of Noah and Lot. Imagine waking up one morning, scrolling through your phone, reading the headlines. Wars, corruption, scandals, violence, division. And you pause for a second and think, how did we get here? Now imagine someone from thousands of years ago standing beside you, quietly saying,
I've seen this before.
because according to Jesus, we have. In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 17, verses 26 through 30, Jesus says something striking. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days of the Son of Man. As it was in the days of Lot. He wasn't trying to scare anyone. He was painting a picture, a mirror. And maybe that mirror looks a lot like today. Let's go back. Not to a peaceful Sunday school image with animals walking 2 by 2. Let's go to the real scene described in Book of Genesis 6:5 and 6:11. It says, "The wickedness of man was great in the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence." Filled with violence. Not just occasional wrongdoing, not just a few bad people. It had become normal. Corruption wasn't shocking anymore, it was expected. People didn't blush at evil, they built systems around it. Life went on as usual. People were eating, drinking, marrying, building businesses, planning futures. They weren't unaware of God, they were uninterested. And in the middle of that world stood one man, Noah. Not perfect, not superhuman, just different. He believed God when no one else did. He built an ark while the sky was clear. Can you imagine the conversations?
Still building that boat, Noah?
Still talking about rain?
Years passed. Nothing changed. Except everything had already changed. Now fast forward to another city, a wealthy, powerful place called Sodom. Jesus referenced it in Gospel of Luke 17 again. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot. They ate, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. Life looked productive, busy, successful. But underneath the surface, moral collapse. In the book of Genesis, Sodom wasn't destroyed because people owned businesses or enjoyed life. It was destroyed because cruelty, pride, exploitation, and unchecked desire had taken over. Right became wrong. Wrong became celebrated. And if anyone questioned it, they were mocked. Lot lived there.
He tried to warn people.
But the Bible says they thought he was joking. Can you picture that moment? The sky is about to change forever, and the people laugh. Here's the part that hits. In Ecclesiastes 1:9, it says, "There is nothing new under the sun." History doesn't just move forward, it circles. What happened in Noah's time? What happened in Lot's time? It wasn't just ancient history, it was a pattern. And when Jesus referenced those days, he wasn't randomly picking stories. He was pointing to a rhythm humanity falls into. 2. Distraction. 3. Moral drift. 4. Mocking warnings. 5. Sudden consequences. Not gradual, sudden. The rain didn't start as a drizzle. The fire didn't send a warning email. It came. Now let's look at today. We live in the most connected generation in history, yet loneliness is at an all-time high. We have more information than ever, yet confusion is everywhere. Violence fills our feeds, corruption fills headlines, truth feels negotiable, and just like in Noah's day, people are busy, building careers, posting moments, chasing dreams. Nothing wrong with that. But the deeper question is, have we normalized what once would have shocked us? Do we scroll past things today that would have made us gasp 10 years ago? Are we laughing at warnings instead of listening? That's the mirror. Not that we have technology, not that we have cities, but that our hearts can slowly drift while life feels completely normal. But here's what's powerful. In both stories, Noah and Lot, Judgment wasn't the focus. Mercy was. God warned before he acted. Noah had years to build the ark. Lot had angels physically pulling him out. Warnings are mercy. And here's what stands out. Noah didn't save the whole world. He saved his household. Lot didn't reform Sodom. He escaped it. The calling wasn't to fix everyone. It was to stay faithful. That changes everything. Because when we hear the days of Noah, we sometimes think it means panic. But it really means prepare. Stay awake. Stay grounded. Stay aligned with truth. Imagine being Noah the night before the rain started. The air still. The animals quiet. The door of the ark closing. No applause, no viral moment, just obedience. Or imagine Lot walking away from a city he had invested his life in, watching everything he knew disappear. These weren't cartoon stories. They were human moments. Confusion, loss, faith. And Jesus says the end of the age will feel similar. Not because the sky will look strange, but because people will feel safe, comfortable, unaware. So what does this mean today? It doesn't mean hide from the world. Noah built in the middle of society. Lot lived inside the city. It means don't let the culture shape your conscience. It means don't laugh at what once made you tremble. It means don't trade conviction for comfort. Most of all, it means remember that history repeats when hearts don't change. And maybe the greatest lesson from Noah and Lot isn't destruction. It's distinction. They stood out. Not because they were loud, but because they were different. If the world today feels heavy, if it feels chaotic, if it feels like something is building beneath the surface, maybe that's not random. Maybe it's a reminder. As it was in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Lot, history echoes. But here's the hopeful part. In every generation, God preserves a remnant. Ordinary people, living differently, choosing faith over fear. The question isn't, is this the end? The question is, if it is, how should we live? Because the rain only shocked the unprepared, and the fire only surprised the distracted. But to those who listened, it wasn't sudden, it was fulfillment. The world may look like the days of Noah. It may feel like the days of Lot. But the story isn't about destruction. It's about who will build, who will listen, and who will walk away when it's time. Because there is nothing new under the sun. And maybe that's the warning and the hope. Subscribe for more interesting facts.